If you're reading this, chances are you've already broken rule number 1 and 2 of Fight Club. But don't worry, so has everyone who's ever talked about David Fincher's 1999 classic. And why wouldn't they? This film isn't just a movie, it's a bizarre fever dream where toxic masculinity meets consumerism's funeral procession, all wrapped up in a sweaty fist. The narrator, played by Edward Norton, is our everyman with insomnia, a job that would drive anyone to madness and a penchant for IKEA catalogs. His namelessness makes him universal, a blank slate projecting the discontent of countless people waking up to find their lives decorated in soothing beige tones and spiraling credit card debt. Enter Tyler Durden, a six-pack of chaos wrapped in a red leather jacket. Brad Pitt's Tyler is every rebellious thought you've had while waiting for a meeting to end, personified. He's wild, nihilistic, and incredibly self-assured. Qualities that make him the kind of guy you'd befriend at a bar but pray never runs your HR department. Together, the two men form Fight Club, a sweaty circle of men who express themselves by knocking out each other's teeth. While most of us cope with work stress through overthinking or midnight snacks, these guys go full gladiator mode. There's something deeply therapeutic about this twisted therapy session. It's the opposite of a company retreat. No trust falls, no motivational speeches, just people discovering themselves one broken nose at a time. Yet, beneath the bruises and spit, there lies a surprising amount of social commentary. It's a middle finger raised high against a society obsessed with defining worth through possessions. Fight Club's real message is buried under a layer of sweat and blood. None of the shiny stuff matters. Marla Singer, played by Helena Bonham Carter, enters like a goth nightmare in thrift store attire. She's the perfect foil to the narrator's insecure everyman and Tyler's flamboyant rebellion. Marla is a reminder that nihilism isn't limited to leather jackets and fistfights. It also comes in the form of chain smoking at support groups you don't need. Her presence underscores the film's chaos, and ultimately drives home the sense that nothing, not even rules, can make sense in a world ruled by Tyler's wild philosophy. Speaking of Tyler's philosophy, it's as seductive as it is absurd. Reject materialism, embrace violence as self-expression, and give up everything you know to find freedom. If this sounds like the worst motivational speech you've ever heard, that's because it is. But it's also deeply effective, at least in the world of Fight Club. The film is a grim reminder that when people feel cornered, they'll follow any path that promises to tear down the walls. And yet by the third act, the train leaves the station, speeds up, and derails completely. Project Mayhem turns from a rebellious frat boy movement into an unsettling cult. The narrator's horror at watching his own ideology spiral out of control is the cinematic equivalent of realizing your Tinder date is much more intense than their profile suggested. Tyler's iconic reveal, the narrator's realization that Tyler is just an unhinged fragment of himself, brings everything full circle. Fight Club isn't about two men fighting the world, it's about one man's battle with himself. Or more accurately, it's about one man literally punching himself in the face to work through his existential crisis. In its final moments, Fight Club offers a strangely poetic resolution. The narrator rejects Tyler's radical nihilism and chooses to embrace pain, vulnerability, and a real connection, even if that connection is with a deeply flawed Marla. Fight Club isn't a love letter to violence. It's a satirical critique of how easily we can let our own desires consume us. In the end, you might come for the brawls, but you stay for the laughably on-point existential dread. Sure, the film glorifies violence, but it also mocks it. At its core, Fight Club is a darkly funny take on masculinity's most self-destructive tendencies, because sometimes the best way to tackle society's absurdity is to give it a black eye and laugh through the pain. Thanks for watching. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Quirky Critic signing out.